Hi there.
This
We're the
is
Gaming Stooges. This is Metroid II, Return of Samus. Ugh.
But Landon, it's not Spookfest.
Never said it was.
This game is too spooky for not Spookfest.
Oh. Well then it's Spookfest?
No,
With a question mark.
just
Landon
I
can
don't care.
play whatever he wants, whenever he wants.
Okay. Okay. So this is Metroid II, Return of Samus.
We're just going.
Yeah. I'm going for it.
We-
So this game... Oh yeah, there's an invisible path here.
Why is all Game Boy music just a bop?
Because that's all they had going for them. What was I? This is Samus Return of to Metroid. The sequel, the exciting sequel to last year's Spookfest game, Metroid. For the
one of
Nintendo
one of
Entertainment
last
System.
year's games.
Oh, right. Night in the Woods, whatever. Maybe that was the real joke. Was this is the exciting sequel to Night in the Woods
Oh.
for the Nintendo Game Boy.
Well, I suppose I missed the opportunity on that one, didn't I?
Yes, you did. Anyway,
Rip.
so this is a Game Boy game.
With great music, I might add.
It has one song. Yes.
It has one song. Yeah, I was gonna say.
This is the only song.
Yep.
No, it is not. But it's like the main, like it's the one like song that you'll hear, because the rest of it is kind of eerie, spooky, and then there's a fight theme against Metroids. Speaking of,
Holy shit!
in this game, while still being explorative because there's no map, it functions different from its predecessor, the original Metroid, because it is very linear. There is only a few instances of backtracking, and that's because of just how the world is laid out. You will have to cross over certain areas to go forward, but never for power-ups. And there's only like one instance of having to backtrack for a Metroid. And that's like way into the game. For those who are wondering how the hell I'm playing this, because it's a Game Boy game, I am actually playing the Game Boy cartridge, much like our redux of Sonic Triple Trouble. I'm playing this on a Retron 5, so I am playing it with a off-brand Genesis controller.
Neat.
Nice.
The Genesis does not have a select button, which is how you switch between missiles and your normal shot.
Rip.
So I had to remap the buttons. Luckily, I have a six-button Genesis controller, so it's not that bad. I just have to have an actual Super Nintendo controller if I want to play Super Nintendo games.
I mean, really, you could do this with a 3-button Genesis controller because you only need A and B.
And then you can
Yes,
map
that-
C to that. Yeah.
Yeah, you can. But I have a 6-button, so
Brag about it, why don't you?
Okay, I will. I will go on and on during this video
About a
and the
Game
rest
Boy
of this LP.
game. About his Genesis controller.
Please
Yeah,
do. That's
off-brand
actual.
Genesis
That is
controller.
what I requested.
Okay. There's actually multiple times where you'll see Samus point the wrong door, like start pointing up, and that's because the D-pad is a little wonky for like something that involves me to aim. It's fun for normal platformers like Sonic, where all I have to do is run and not aim. Also, that's lava down there because it has dots. That hurts. For those who are not familiar with the game, I guess I should have explained it a little bit earlier. The world is split off into different sections, and you have to kill Metroids as you make your way through this world, which is SR100. I forget the actual name. Something like that. As you make through the world, as you kill Metroids, you will be able to go further down into the depths of the world. Which is why it's less linear than the original Metroid and basically every single following entry in the Metroid series. Okay. That's basically all I have to say about the game for now. Does anyone have anything
The
to say?
music's gone. That makes me sad.
That's because we're not in the main area anymore.
Also, did
We're
you
off in this...
call it SR100?
I don't know. I said something.
It's SR388. Come on, Landon.
Okay. Nerd.
You're the Metroid recording person.
Nuh-uh.
You were the
I'm only doing Metroid 1, 2, Super, Prime 2.
Prime 3.
I'm only doing half the games.
Yeah, and I'm doing the
More
other
than half the games, actually.
Yeah, I don't know. You are the only person that on our channel that has recorded a Metroid game thus far. So you are, by definition, the
The Metroid
Metroid
guy.
recorder guy.
Damn it. And I'm also the Zelda guy.
Also true. That'll change soon, but...
knows?
How soon?
Who knows?
Yeah. Gotta wait for fucking
We have to get
Justin
around
to
to-
be online ever.
Have you know, honestly, we don't have to.
I basically just don't trust Justin to do anything anymore, include be online for recording.
So...
I've given up on Justin.
So then why do we wait around for him?
I don't
Anyway,
fucking
here's
know.
the other song. That's the save room song. / item room.
This music doesn't sound like it's fitting the setting.
No. I think it has to do something with Chozos or something. I don't know. This is the bomb. This lets us bomb.
Does that make
Look at
us dub-bomb?
No.
No.
Probably, actually. I don't
Honestly, I thought you said bong at first.
No.
know. Oh, that too. Song, bong,
So-
bomb.
Samus is just gonna take a fat rip.
I don't know if she'd want to remove her hood. Especially getting further into the planet, because...
Don't think there's an atmosphere.
Yeah.
Not that humans can breathe.
I mean,
To be
she is
fair,
also
she's-
part bird.
I was gonna say she's not 100% human.
Although I don't know, is it established at this point that she is part bird? Or is that
I
actually
thought it-
established?
I thought it was established that she does have, like, bird DNA.
No, I know it is, but I don't know if it was established
In this
at the
game or
time of
not.
this.
Oh, I mean, probably.
I mean, obviously, since the first Metroid, she would be part bird in order to wear the stupid suit. Just if they had, decided that at the time. Ooh, it's the ice beam. This is what lets you kill Metroid. It's the baby ones that we never see. Oh yeah, this also establishes like what Metroids evolve into, or like their life stage. I don't know words. Metroids kind of, I don't know. They're like caterpillars, where they go through metamorphosis stages. I think that's the closest. Like that's the easiest thing to compare them to. Most people think about them as the larvae thing. But this actually has multiple forms. Like the one we fought earlier. I think a lot of this video is me collecting shit, but I think we go and fight some more shit later.
I would assume a lot of this Let's Play is collecting shit.
Not really the second half. It's mostly the first half, because the second half of the game has almost no items to speak of. Once we get through like sector 2, I think. Once we get through like sector 5, it's really just killing Metroids. I forget why I don't cut this. Mainly
Because you're a doof.
for padding.
Do we need padding in a game like this?
I mean, it's 2 hours, so yes. I think I gave up because I figure, oh wait, I need the spider ball for this. Doi. Let me go get the spider ball. Damn it.
Another thing about, I mean, to be fair, NES games aren't really much better for the most part, but, you know, Game Boy games at the time don't last very long on a complete playthrough. Most of them, anyway.
Yeah. I think this LP is going to be a little bit longer than 2 hours because it's been a while since I played this game. One thing I do like about this game is they really tried to bring the atmosphere into it with the limited sound trip and the limited like resources available with the Game Boy, because I don't know, you could actually tell that things are different. Like, areas are kind of different, for the most part, than you could in the first game. Which I know is a major problem of the first game, because you can't tell what's what. Spider Ball lets you climb shit. Look at this.
Neat.
Yeah.
Yeah, platforming. But yeah, so you get like this is kind of spooky because, you know, you see that Metroid husk thingy over there and you're like, ooh, and there's no music. Whereas this area kind of has music to it because it's like a Chozo factory type area, because it has all these automated guns and that Chozo statue, well, 2 Chozo statues. And it doesn't really have like too many living enemies, if that makes sense.
That's actually a little weird.
But there's no living enemies in the Chozo room, or the spider ball thing.
The no living enemies thing.
No.
Weird.
So
this
like
way.
This used to be like a Chozo colony, if I remember the lore right. And then the Chozos die off, and so the Metroids start running rampant. And really, towards the bottom half of the game, I think this is more noticeable in the 3DS remake. Oh, by the way, there's a 3DS remake. Which, at the time of this recording, we cannot do. So, who knows if we'll ever get to that.
3DS emulator someday, please.
Please? I mean, there is one out there. It's just not very good.
They're working on it still.
Yeah.
It's a better
It plays
option.
Some games good.
It's a better option than the fucking buying a capture card, which is a nightmare and a half.
Yeah. I don't know why I go all the way out of my way to go over here to spider ball around. Once again, I wasn't very used to this game. I played it through completion once before this, but like years ago. And I, you know, dabbled with it a little bit before that, but it's been a while since before this LP that I played this game through to completion. And by completion, I mean 100% item pickup. But anyway, this used to be a Chozo colony. I think I was talking about that. And then I got sidetracked somewhere. The Metroids come out, and so when you go further into the planet, when you go closer to the den of the Queen Metroid, Ooh, spoilers. There's less creatures that would be considered life forms, because most of them have been killed off by the Metroids, because they eat the life force of creatures to, survive. Which I think is interesting because, that makes sense. So you got a lot more, like, shit like that, automated gun system type stuff. Or, like, machinery, robots that have been built by the Chozo that are still around. And you see more of it in the 3DS remake, that's where I got sidetracked. But unfortunately in this game you can only carry one gunshot. Ugh.
That is fixed in the remake.
Yes.
I would imagine a lot of things are fixed in the remake.
Yeah.
The remake, for all intents and purposes, is a better game. In every way.
So, unlike Metroid 1, whose remake is, like, straight up the definitive version of the game, and I know, like, the remake is, like, far better in every way of this game, it kind of takes out some of the, I would say, the suspense elements, kind of. I know Metroid games are, all about suspense and stuff, a little bit, but it's a little bit less impactful in that game than it is in this one.
This game has some good atmosphere.
Yeah. Like I said, the developers do a really good job building an atmosphere with the limited palette that they are given in terms of tile set and like music by sound channels. I think that's the term for it.
Although it's generally better that you play it in color.
Yes. Oh, no. That's why I play it on the Retron 5, because on the Retron 5 you can actually set it to a color. I think the Super... Because this is, I think, technically the Game Boy Advance coloring for it. Because the Retron 5 emulates a Game Boy Advance. I believe the Super Game Boy version has a better color palette.
The Super Game Boy had some like unique palettes for a lot of games actually that you can't get on like any other emulation, or like Game Boy Color doesn't have it. The Retron doesn't have it. I'm sure that there's like other instances that don't have it, but the Super Game Boy just, I don't know, for whatever reason, like, I can't remember, there's like a bunch of games that just do this weird, like, specific palette for it.
Yeah, so, if you're able to, play this game on a Super Game Boy...
They're not super rare. I don't think so.
No. I don't think so.
I legitimately have no idea.
I think the more expensive thing is if you don't have a Super Nintendo already, then paying for that.
Well, Super Nintendos aren't hard to find. You can find that at any like secondhand game store for like $50.
Oh, well, I was gonna say the expensive part if you want to play this game.
Yeah.
On a thing that's not a Game Boy, or the 3DS Virtual Console, or emulate it.
Yeah.
Super Game Boy.
Just emulate it. Fuck it.
No, don't be a nerd.
I was laughing mostly because you mentioned super rare for Super Game Boy.
Oh.
Yeah.
I got the joke, don't worry.
I didn't. I'm tired. I lost my train of thought.
It's a Metroid.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
Skitter.
So the Metroids are interesting because they suck.
They're interesting because they suck.
Yeah.
Dueling
Well, certain forms of them kind of suck to kill. there's like, and we'll see it later on, their attack patterns really suck. The first one is kind of easy because all it does is kind of charge at you, and you just shoot at it with missiles from the bottom. Also, this game kind of has that, because I slightly widened the screen, you can see things that you're not supposed to, but only a little bit. For those that, like, care, I'm trying to pull it up real quick. The Metroids right now that we're fighting are the Alpha Metroid stage. They go from, so Infant, which is, well, we'll see that later in the game. The Larva stage is the one that's commonly seen. That was the one that was introduced in the first game, and basically seen in every single game after this, that Metroids are actually in a Metroid. Then it goes Alpha, Gamma, Zeta, Omega, and then Queen Metroid is the that is the highest rate something can go, and that's like very rare that something will evolve into that.
It's a lot of different ranks of Metroid.
Yes, which part of that is because they needed you to kill like 50 Metroids in this game. It says 39 at the beginning, but we do have to fight some larvas that get hatched right as we go, like, up to it. Also spoilers, but this is also a almost, 25. This is like over 25 years old or something.
Didn't it come out in like 1992 or something?
1991 it said on the title screen, so it's going to be having its 30-year anniversary
in a couple
in 2 years. Yeah. So it's like 28 years old at the time of recording.
If you're watching this in 2021, welcome to the past.
Happy Metroid, happy Metroid 2 anniversary.
At the time of this recording, Metroid's general anniversary was the other day, on the 6th.
Oh, well, there we go.
We 33 years ago.
We couldn't do anything for it because I was stuck on an island.
RIP. I mean, 33 isn't exactly like an important anniversary year to anyone except for Bomberman for some reason.
I mean, I don't think there is a single year of Metroid's anniversary, like, of Metroid's lifetime that Nintendo cares about. So,
yeah, that's true.
I was gonna say.
I mean, wasn't
they've done collections for Kirby, and they've done things for Zelda and Mario. And
where's my Metroid collection? Put Prime Trilogy on the Switch, you cowards.
And they've done stuff for a million other series, but not Metroid.
Yeah, which is unfortunate because Metroid is, like, one of my favorite series from them because it's different. I mean, it's like the roots are pretty similar to that of your Zelda, but it's different. It is more mature in certain themes. But no, it's the thing that Nintendo goes, nope. Even Fire Emblem nowadays. Fire Emblem's like, yeah.
Fire Emblem's one of their biggest series now, which is weird.
Bring on that weeb trash money. We love it.
Which is weird because, like, if you, like, looked back, like, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, like, Metroid was a much bigger series than Fire Emblem was.
Yeah. I mean, even 10 years ago, it was like, hey, Metroid Other M just came out. I mean, it was Metroid Other M, but, like, it was a new game. And Fire Emblem had
3D
Shit.
games.
No. What was the 2009 one that was the remake of the first? Was that Shadow Dragon?
Shadow Dragon, which was
Generally received as one of the worst, yeah.
yeah. Anyway, we'll talk about that probably never again. Thank goodness.